Let us now set up your drawing for printing by converting it to a PDF format. To do that, click on Layout 1, and by default, you will be presented by this piece of paper. Using a selection box, select all of those object entities and click on Delete. Let us first try to customize our layout. We can customize our layout by doing a right-click, choosing Rename to type a new name for our layout. Let's say Page 1. Then we can move or copy, create a new layout, and let's try now to do a Page Setup Manager. Under Page Setup Manager, we can click on Modify and set up DWG to PDF. We can choose our paper size from the wide variety of paper sizes. Let's say we're going to choose ISO Full Bleed A4. We can customize our scale, but for our setup, we're going to use 1:1. Make sure that the proper units is set to millimeter and the plot area is set to layout. Check plot transparency. Under plot style, we can use monochrome. Drawing orientation is either portrait, but for our drawing, we will use landscape. Click on OK. And you will be presented with an A4 size piece of paper. We are now going to create our title block in our layout. So type in the command PL and start drawing the title block for your output. There is no way to stop on the corners of your title block, so you have to do this one by approximating the location of that corner. Offset 15. In drawing your title block, you draw your title block at a scale of 1:1. You can place the corresponding text, but this time, for your text height, you're going to type in at the scale of exact value. So 2 millimeters, and specify the opposite corner. I type in my text, and arrange it accordingly to my title block. You can draw objects into your layout just like the way you try to draw objects in your modeling window. To place a viewport in Autocad, we can choose Layout, and under Insert View, I'm going to choose Rectangular. I can draw now a rectangle. And it now creates a window that shows my Autocad drawing. To transition between your paper and model space, I can click on the model or paper space option. So if my model space option is activated, if I zoom in and zoom out, I am inside my modeling window, whereby I can set up or arrange my Autocad drawing by doing a pan or zooming in and zooming out. If I, however, activated the layout or paper space by doing a click on the model, I can now zoom in, pan, in relation to my paper space. Another way of transitioning between paper and model space is by doing a double click on the inside or outside of the paper. So if I click on the inside of the paper, double click, I can now zoom in and zoom out, or I am inside the model space. If I double click on the outside, I can now zoom in and zoom out. To properly set the scale of your viewport or your drawing, you select the border of the viewport and choose the appropriate scale, 1:100. I can customize the size of my viewport by doing a click and drag on the corners, doing a move, and adjusting the location. Double click outside. By transitioning between your paper and your model space, you can adjust all values of the viewport scale and also make copies of it. So that you can set it up for making a close-up. Let's say we want to make a close-up for our staircase. And I want to use a scale of 1:50. Click on outside. And you have now a drawing that is composed of a scale of 1:100 and another viewport that is set at a scale of 1:50. We are now going to take a look at the effect that it have on our dimension. Going back to my model, if I now place a dimension and choose 1:50 and place a corresponding dimension into my staircase, let's now observe its effect in our layout. Upon closer inspection, you will notice that the size of our dimension is identical to that of my scale of 1:50. The viewport scale on my left shows a dimension style that is set to 1:100. The viewport scale on my right sets a dimension style that is set to 1:50 and a corresponding viewport scale also of 1:50. By using this setup, the appearance of my dimensions are identical in size. However, a problem is generated if we take a look at the setup of the staircase in my 1:100 drawing. This is now the problem of using a standard dimension style. Because of the visibility of 1:100 dimension style and at the same time 1:50 dimension style. This can be negated by using two different drawings, but it also generates the problem of having to make two edits when it is necessary. To overcome that problem, we can use annotative scaling. So let's try now to create our copy or our layout. Create a copy, move to end, click OK. This one is now going to generate a new layout, which we can rename. Let's try to use the name annotative. Click. Then going to your annotative, let's now pan our model towards the annotated scaling. Make sure that you are still set up to a scale of 1:100. If, however, you accidentally scrolled in your zoom in and zoom out, you can choose again at a proper scale of 1:100, then double click on the outside or click on your model or paper space. Same is true with my staircase. I will pan to the appropriate location. Double click on the outside. Let's now observe what happens if we place our dimension in our modeling window. I activate my annotative scale, Anno, and place a dimension into my staircase. I choose 1:50, DLI. Let's now observe the effect that it have in our drawing. It will still generate the same effect. The size of your dimension style is similar, even though you have two different viewport scale. However, one thing that is key in here is that it is no longer visible in your 1:100 annotative viewport scale. The reason is that using annotative scaling controls the visibility of your annotative dimension. This is quite advantageous if you want to use a single drawing that is set at different viewports. So you have one drawing that have different dimensions that are placed in this drawing. So if I activate again the visibility, I can see all of the dimensions that are currently placed in my annotative scaling. I can set it again and place additional dimensions as I desire. Just like in your modeling window, you can set your Autocad title block objects to the appropriate layer that you wish. So you can go back to Home and choose the appropriate layer that you want to use. So for our text, I can use again my text layer. I can modify my title block and set it up accordingly. If you have a difficulty in editing your title block, you can transfer all of these Autocad title block entities into your modeling window using your clipboard option or copy option. Clipboard, copy with base point, specifying a base point, then going back to your model, then type in the command paste clip. Enter, and you can now paste your title block. You can make the necessary edits of your title block in your modeling window, and repeating the same process, you can place now again your title block back into your layout and do again a type of the command paste clip. After setting up everything, let's now convert our AutoCAD drawing to PDF by typing in Ctrl P, choosing Continue to plot a single sheet, follow this setup, then click on OK, navigate to your desired folder, and place your desired name for your PDF file. Click on Save, and a preview of your PDF is going to appear, which you can now print into your printer. As you can see, the layers for our furniture are set to a transparency of 50. That is why the visibility or the darkness of the line is semi-transparent as reflected in your PDF. The lines, although colored in your AutoCAD, appear to be black in your PDF file. You can adjust your layers so that the corresponding spaces of your dashes will adjust.